This is Devil Warrior, and this video I'm going to be showing the Game of Thrones Daenerys and Drogon Statuette. So this is by Dark Horse Deluxe. This is the same company that I've shown the figures and statues for in my previous videos. Because it's a statuette, this is their first one they've ever done. It's not limited edition or anything, it's more like the figures, so I think there's a kind of like an endless supply. Front of the box it just shows Daenerys and Drogon here. Side of the box it shows House Targaryen banner, which is really cool. Back of the box again, same picture, but it's got some rights and stuff down at the bottom. And again on the side here, House Targaryen banner. Top of the box says Game of Thrones. On the bottom of the box it doesn't say like a number or anything, since it's not limited edition. It doesn't come with a certificate of authenticity or anything. Price range wise, it's kind of in the middle of both of them. So here it is over here. And it's actually really interesting. The scale's really interesting. There's actually kind of a lot to talk about here, since it is the first statuette. So again, there's no certificate of authenticity, since it isn't a statue, it's a statuette. The price, the normal figures from Dark Horse Deluxe is about £20. For the statues, the prices for them are about $150 to $250. Like Tyrion Lannister statue was like $150. The Titan Brother statue was like $200, and say the Jon Snow one was like $250. So yeah, that's kind of like the price range of the statues. Doesn't quite meet them. I think it cost me £86, so about £100 basically for this. So yeah, it is middle range. I'm guessing the first reason they made it is because the Daenerys and Drogon statue they made was really expensive, and it kind of gives you an alternative to buying the statue. You don't they haven't got a figure for it, but you can get a statuette for it. It's kind of nice that they gave that alternative for people that maybe not able to afford the statue. But anyway, something I will now moving on to the actual statue. Something I'll go on to before I go into the detail of it is the fact that what's a little bit annoying about it is slotting this guy in was a little bit annoying. Drogon. It came in 3 different parts. You got the base, you had Daenerys, which is actually really cool. I might take this out now, but it might be a bit hard to get back in, hopefully not. But here's Daenerys. She comes like as a separate part, so they're all kind of like separate parts, so it's quite cool. It's actually scaled really similar in size to Eaglemoss collection that I've only kind of just got my hands on the other week, actually. So it's going to be really, I'm going to actually show a few different Game of Thrones figures and stuff to kind of give you guys a nice comparison of how it scales with other Game of Thrones products out there. Now I've just got to slot back in. The next thing, she's really easy to slot in though. I was just kind of seeing a position of it, but yeah, she's easy to slot in. Base is fine. Drogon, you do have to kind of. There's 3 parts you have to slot him in. One's right here where this win is. The other part's right here where this part of the win is, and the other part is underneath him on his left foot. You have to slot that in. Yeah, you might not be able to see that. Basically, he has a left foot back here, and you have to slot that in. And to do that, you kind of have to push the win in, and it feels like that win. It's like, okay, it's swinging a snap or whatever, because it feels quite delicate, but it doesn't. But yeah, you do have to push it back in. I feel like this should have been like right here instead, because otherwise you have to stretch this in and stuff. And something else is when you push the foot back here, which is the awkward part to put in. When you push that fully in, this win over here to the right of the statue is touching the ground. So as I'm moving this here, I'm dragging that win across the ground, which is never a good thing, considering I haven't fully pushed the foot in back there either. I pushed this far in and this far in, but the foot isn't pushed fully in, and this is dragging across the ground, which is obviously a little bit of a design flaw, so that's a bit disappointing. But apart from that, that's the only kind of issue I'm having with it right now. It's a little bit annoying, but nothing major. Detail-wise, it's crazy. Really quite nice. It is really small. You might be quite surprised how big this is in comparison to the figures and statues. But yeah, I really do like the detail on Daenerys here. It's like a really nice little kind of painting style. I hope they make some more statuettes, because I really do kind of like the size of the statuettes. They're kind of more like, again, the Eaglemoss collection. You guys might not know what I'm talking about there, since this is a Dark Horse product, but I will show you just for scale wise. Scale comparison rather, okay. But yeah, that's Daenerys. Looks really quite nice. I really do love this little base here as well. I'll pick up the base in a second and just kind of show you the base. It's nice and elevated. One of the problems I had with the other statues was the base wasn't elevated enough, so it's a bit hard to pick up. This one's not elevated as much as I like it. Maybe a little bit more would be nice, but it is elevated. Some of them are like really close to the ground. So when you go to pick them up or move them, you end up scratching the base of them, which is a bit sad. Here's Drogon. Here's Drogon's face over here. I can just get that focused here. Come on, Drogon. Okay. I think that's good. So yeah, it's really nice detail here. I really do love that this is the first kind of figure / statue I've had of a dragon. The only other dragons I've got are the Pop Funkos, so it's really nice to have an actual dragon. Now I will eventually end up getting a statue when I get a bit of money, and I'll have the statue and statuette. I'm going to put the statue with probably my figure collection or my Eagle Moss collection, even though it's from Dark Horse, just because of the scale of it is more similar to those. It's like nowhere near the scale of the statue. Here's the back of it here. Really like the towel here and all the scales going across it here. Trying not to get too much shadow here, but yeah, as you can see, all these little scales here going across it look really fucking cool. Under here, sorry about the shadow here. And then down to its towel, really long towel. Turn it around here onto its other side. What's kind of annoying here, again, it's scraping as I'm moving it here, so I want to pick it up a little bit, just so that doesn't kind of scratch the bottom of its towel. And here's kind of like the back of it. So from the back of it, you can still see Daenerys' head, kind of. If you was kind of looking at it from eye level, that's kind of what you would see. But yeah, you might be able to see it a bit better now. Go around the back of it here, you can probably see this big old foot over here. And this is what you have to slot in. Again, it's a bit harder to lie in here, but this is the fit you have to slot in here, over on the right side. And this is kind of under it there, you can just see that. Over here, let's turn it around again, and you get to see it from this side over here. Really quite worried about doing this too fast, just because, again, this is scratching, it's a little bit annoying. But yeah, here's the other side of it here. Again, really nice detail. I really do love this. I actually was really surprised, because boxing wise as well, again, you may have noticed it's boxed like the statue, which is another point. The figures are boxed differently from the statues. The statues, it's been a while since I showed the inside of a box, but I'll just quickly briefly show kind of what it's contained within. So yeah, it comes all nicely packaged inside that, and you open that and it's all nicely packaged in there. So it is, yeah, really nice packaging for it. So it's really nice little condition in there. It would have been cool with a certificate of authenticity, but I guess they only did that for the statues, so it's not an issue at all for me. But yeah, here's the statue here. Again, and now I'm going to go get some figures and stuff to kind of show you a scale comparison of it, since I've got no other statuettes to compare it with, since it's the first Dark Horse Deluxe statuette. So give me a second here. Okay, so first of all, I'll show you an actual figure from Dark Horse Deluxe, and you'll get to see a figure compared to the statuette. So here's the Hound. I haven't actually showed a video on the Hound yet, because I'm going to make him my figure collection video, but I'm just waiting on a few more figures to arrive before I can do my next figure collection video. But here's the Hound. As you can see, scale-wise, the Dark Horse Deluxe figure is massive in comparison to the statuette. Like the Hound, even if I was going to put him, can I put him on like his side here? You can kind of see, yeah, the figures are much bigger than the actual statuette. So it's really quite small. I'll get a Pop Funko as well, in case anyone has Pop Funkos, to kind of give you an idea of the size of a Pop Funko in comparison to the statuette. So that's a Pop Funko there. So again, it is still kind of small. Now, Eagle Moss, I've actually got the first issue from Eagle Moss. The Eagle Moss models is what I'm calling them, the Eagle Moss model. Eagle Moss models are around about the same size as this, and the first issue was actually Daenerys Targaryen. So this is actually really quite cool, because she's wearing the exact same outfit. So over here, we've got a little Daenerys from the Eagle Moss model collection over here, next to a Dark Horse Deluxe statuette. So yeah, scale wise, again, you can kind of tell, can't you? It's scale wise, it's really, it's pretty much Eagle Moss scale. If anything, it's a little bit bigger. You can kind of see her face is maybe a little bit bigger here. Just generally a little bit bigger. But yeah, scale wise, nothing near a figure. The figures are huge in comparison. Smaller than the Pop Funko. But yeah, it's Eagle Moss scale, which is it really did quite surprise me. But I thought it was quite cool that I had a little Eagle Moss model to show at this time with the statuette. So yeah, I'll get all these out of the way now. And again, if you're curious, this is the Dark Horse Deluxe figures. This is just Pop Funkos. I collect them as well. And this is Eagle Moss models. It's kind of just started the collection. I've only been given 2 issues. Someone messaged me and said that the first 7 issues are out. I don't know why I haven't received them, but that's a different story. But yeah, this is the Dark Horse Deluxe Game of Thrones Daenerys and Drogon Statuette. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Before I end it, I want to try and show you the base. Okay, if I can kind of... I would love to lift it up and show you, but it's a little bit problematic. Okay, just lift this up here. Okay, so here's the base of it as well, if you were curious. It's just kind of like a nice little base here. And it just says Game of Thrones, Daenerys Drogon Statuette. It's a bit hard to show, sorry about that. But yeah, there we go. That's a video on the Game of Thrones, Daenerys and Drogon Statuette. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and see you guys.